Hi guys. Okay, I'm on to task 2. So I'm going to do a few practice problems with you from the worksheet that you got for practice. You guys have the answer key as well, so it's not that hard. So I'm just going to do a few. I'm going to pick a couple numbers randomly, and I'm going to do these with you and show you kind of how a few more are done because you've only seen one example. So I'm going to start. I've doubled the page, so when I photocopied, you know me and my photocopies, I was going to cut it in half for you in real life. So it's not double. You only have this many questions. You have 10. Okay, so I'm going to pick one from the top. I'm going to do like 3 and 9. So that way, one from the top, one from the bottom. So it's a little bit harder. All right, let's look at number 3. Just randomly pick them. So number 3 says, how many moles of carbon dioxide gas are there in 2.94 liters? Okay, so I'm going to write that down so you can see. This is what I'm doing. You guys have this practice sheet as well. How many moles of CO2 gas are in 2.94 liters of CO2 at standard temperature pressure? I'm not going to write it all down. Okay, so this is what the question asked us. How many moles are in this much 2.94 liters of CO2 gas, of CO2, question mark. So our known they gave us was 2.94 liters of CO2, and our unknown, what are they asking us for, is moles. Moles of CO2. Can you see that? How many moles? That's easy. And then it gave us 2.94. All right, so what conversion am I going to do? I'm trying to go from liters to moles. Do I have any bunk bed pairs or conversion factors that'll let me do that? I do. I have liters to moles. This last one we just learned, liters to moles. So I'll write down the conversion factor for you. 1 mole of any gas is 22.4 liters of that gas. I'm going to put a box around that. That's our conversion factor or bunk bed pair we're going to do. How do we always start these questions? We start with the known, 2.94 liters of CO2, and we put it over 1. I'm going to build my bunk. What goes on the bottom bunk? I'm going to use this conversion factor. I'm trying to get rid of liters of CO2, so I'm going to put liters on the bottom. 22.4 liters, and I'm going to put CO2 because that happens to be the molecule we're talking about. I could have put any molecule there. It wouldn't matter because 1 mole of any gas is 22.4 liters of that gas. So I can fill that in any way I need to in a question. So, and then on the top bunk, because they're a bunk bed pair, I have to put 1 mole of CO2 because that's the molecule we're talking about. All right, I only had to build 1 bunk this time because I've gotten to the unit I want. Moles of CO2. Well, it's here, moles of CO2. So I have liters of CO2 on the top, liters of CO2 on the bottom. I get to cancel those units. Now I just have to do easy math. This one wasn't too bad at all. So I'm going to go 2.94 times 1, which I'm not going to do, divided by 1, which I'm not going to do, and divided by 22.4. It's going to give me 0.131. What's the unit that's left? Moles of CO2. All right, let's see if we got it right. We'll flip over to the question. You can see right here, 0.131 moles of CO2. So good. We got that one right. So that's how we did number 3. Now I'm going to do a double conversion with you so you can see things can get a little harder, but it's still the same method. So I'm going to do number 9 with you from the bottom. I'm going to read out the question. What is the volume of 8.7 times 10 to the 23 molecules of chlorine gas, which is just Cl2. Okay? Instead of writing out chlorine gas, that's Cl2. All right, so what's the volume? What are the knowns? What are the unknowns? What do we do? Well, first thing we do is write down our known. What do we have? 8.7 times 10 to the 23 molecules. Of chlorine gas, Cl2, our unknown. What is the volume? So it's asking for volume, which is in liters of Cl2. All right, can I get from molecules to liters with one bunk bed? Do I have a conversion factor that'll get me there? I see one here with molecules, but its bunk bed pair is moles. And I see one with liters, but its bunk bed pair is moles. So I know right away I can't immediately go from molecules to liters. They're not in a bunk bed pair. I'm going to have to go through moles, which means it's a 2 bunk bed step. So let's write down the conversion factors we're going to use. We're going to use this one, which is 1 mole is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23 molecules, because we have this unit, molecules, in play. And then I need volume. Well, that's the bottom one we just learned. 1 mole is equal to 22.4 liters of any gas. So these are the 2 bunk bed pairs I'm going to use from our little cheat sheet. All right, I've now picked out my bunk bed pairs. What do I do now? I always, always, always start with my known and I put it over 1. 8.7 times 10 to the 23 molecules, I'm not C-U-L-E-S, of Cl2 over 1. I'll do it this way this time, since some people don't like the bunk beds. What's going to go on the bottom? I have to use these bunk bed pairs or conversion factor pairs, whatever you'd like to say. So I've got molecules of Cl2 on the top. I have to put molecules in the bottom because I want to cancel that out. Well, this is the one with molecules. So I have to put 6.02 times 10 to the 23 molecules. And it's of Cl2. And what goes on the top? Automatically. Boom, this guy, because he's the pair. You can't start switching up the numbers. The pairs have to stay top and bottom bunk. So it's 1 mole of Cl2. All right, that's awesome. We got to cancel out molecules of Cl2. Awesome. That's one start. Now I've got moles of Cl2, but my question asked me for volume or liters of Cl2. Well, now I've got to switch from moles to liters. So I used this bunk bed pair. So I put moles on the bottom, 1 mole of Cl2. What goes on the top? I can't make it up. I'm not allowed to switch these around. That's the rules. These are stuck. These are equal. It's like saying 1 year is 365 days. You don't get to just make up these numbers. You don't get to go 2 years is equal to 365 days. That's not allowed. No more so than this conversion factor can be changed. Okay, so I've got moles on the bottom and the top here. That's great. And what's my top bunk? 22.4 liters. And we're talking about chlorine gas this time. So I've got my little setup. In the bunk bed world, it would look like this. I like bunks better. Not everyone does. We put that guy over 1. Here we put down the 6.02 times 10 to the 23 molecules. We put 1 mole on the top. Then we put 1 mole on the bottom. And we put 22.4 liters of Cl2 on the top. I got to cancel moles. Moles top and bottom. Molecules top and bottom. So here's my bunk beds. Here it is straight out like this. I get to cancel moles of Cl2. Moles of Cl2. Awesome. Doesn't matter which way you like to do it, this way or this way. It's the same math. I've gotten all of my units straight. So now, I always tell you guys in this time, units tell the story. It's the units you follow, not the numbers, the units. So on the top left alone is liters of Cl2. What's my unknown? What am I looking for? Liters of Cl2. So that's perfect. So now I just got to do the math. So watch how I can put it in my calculator. 8.7 exponent 23 times 1, which I'm not going to do, times 22.4 equals. I have to hit the equals. Now I do divided by everything on the bottom. Well, that's a 1. So I'm not going to do that. And I say divided by 6.02 exponent 23 equals. And I don't have to divide by this one because it's a 1. So what did I get? My answer is, I'll put my answer down here because I got more space. 32.37, what's my unit? Liters of Cl2. This is my answer for number 9. Let's go look. We were right. 32 liters of Cl2. So we got that guy right. Okay? So you follow the units. All right. Hopefully this helps. You know, I'll have class on this later. Well, it depends on when you're watching this, but I will have class on this next week, probably Tuesday at 1. Yeah, hopefully you guys are doing okay. Talk soon. Bye.